gentlemen, our first guest is America's favorite cutthroat real estate mogul and slumlord. He's also the host of the popular reality series, The Celebrity Apprentice, and you can see it Monday nights on NBC. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Donald Trump. Don, come on out. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wow.
Do you always wear a red tie?
No. But I wear it in your show because I've had good luck. You know, the last time I did your show, and by the way, we are going to miss this man. Do we agree?
Oh.
We're going to miss him. But I was very sad because I thought that might be the last time I ever do this show. And when you invited me back, I was actually happy about it. Of course, at the end of this, I may not be so happy.
Oh, you're fine. Just relax. But I think I remember somebody telling me that the red tie suggests great power. Do you subscribe to that idea?
I started wearing it in the 80s, and it was really good, and a lot of people sort of followed it. And then I got off it because everybody was wearing red ties. And I sort of got back on it recently. It's just, I like it. I just like the look.
Well, I'm accustomed to seeing you in the red tie.
Yeah, sometimes,
yeah,
but
you look like a
I
thermometer.
do others. I do others.
Now, Don, are you running for presidency, or is it another phony campaign, or are you really running?
No. You know, I never said I was running. I never said I was running before, and a lot of people have wanted me to
but you go around to places and you give speeches. You're going to go down.
That I do because I love the country.
You love the country. And they pay you a little bit, don't they?
In some cases they do, but I don't do it for that. And that money goes to charity. Anything I get for that, it goes to charity.
Well,
but
that's very nice.
I do go around and I do make speeches. I make a lot of speeches about what we have to do for the country. You know, we have 18 trillion in debt. Much of it owed to China. We have lots of problems in this country, and to put it mildly, and a lot of other countries have a lot of problems.
Well, let me ask you a question. I am just blankly ignorant about world economics.
Right.
Now, when you say we're $18 trillion in debt, mostly to China, what if China decides they want to collect on that? What happens to us?
Well, we have somewhat of a problem, but if you have the right leader, you will not have that problem. He'll know how to deal with them.
How would you deal with it?
Well, I've been dealing with banks all my life. I mean, you know, to be honest with you.
Well, you must have been in a situation where a guy calls up and said, Don, we need the money for the cement.
It's true. I've had those situations. And those are the most dangerous situations.
Yeah.
The banks, you don't mind. The cement guys, they can be a little bit tougher.
You don't want to mess.
But, you know, we have such tremendous potential in the country,
right.
Such tremendous potential, David. And, you know, I go to Europe, I go to different places, I go to Saudi Arabia, I go all over the world, and I see airports like you've never seen before. And I come home to LaGuardia, to Newark, to Kennedy, to LAX, and it's like we're a third world country. It's very sad, actually. But you go to some of these countries, and you've never seen anything like it. Highways, roads, bridges that are magnificent, that we have nothing like it. And you come here, and you just don't see it.
Why don't we have those things?
I think it's leadership. I think it's competence. I think we're spending amounts of money that we don't have on lots of other things that we shouldn't be spending.
I can remember at the first inaugural address from President Obama, he talked about so much money was going to the Southeast for a mass transportation system, one to the Midwest and one to the western part of the state country for a mass transit, rail, fast-moving.
Right.
And I said, well, whatever happened to that? And apparently these communities said, no, we don't want that here.
Right.
So
it happens too when you have to deal with. I've dealt with communities all my life.
Why wouldn't they want that?
I built thousands and thousands of units and different things, and I always get approvals. I get approvals. I go through it. On the west side, you see it all up and down the west side, 6,000 units.
Why wouldn't they want a mass transit, rapid transit movement system in the southeast?
David, it depends on how it's sold. If you sell it, I mean, it's something that can be sold. But if you sell it
they were just giving them the money. They were saying, "Here's the money."
And even that they can't sell if you think about it. But look, we had a we had a little website that cost $5 billion, and it still doesn't work. The Obamacare website, which is a very sad.
It doesn't work at all?
It's working a little bit, but it's not working very well. I can tell you that.
Are you signed up for Obamacare?
No, I haven't signed up. I haven't. I decided I think I'm going to pass.
Yeah. But what?
I want something that works.
But what would be wrong with a medical system that does treat people reasonably at a cost? But medical
Well, I
expenses
agree with
are
that.
crazy.
I agree. I agree, and I fully subscribe to the fact that we have to take care of the people, but there are much better systems. The people that had good plans are losing those plans, and they have deductibles that are through the roof. They can't have their own doctor. They can't have their own plan anymore. That was not the way it was sold. It was sold much differently than that, and people are being really badly hurt, and it doesn't really kick in until 16, and it's going to have a devastating effect on the economy. You can have a better plan for less.
I don't know enough about it to say that's not true, but I think that's not true.
Okay. I mean, I'd like to see. I would like to see a plan. I would like to see a plan that could be better and cost less for the people. And you can do that.
I've told this story many times. I have traveled to other countries, and while in the other country, I have injured myself. And I have had to go to a hospital or to a clinic and had myself taken care of.
Right.
And in one case, it was I had an arm reattached. And at the end of the procedure, they said they wrote me up, they said go to it was like $12.
Yeah.
$12.
No, it's true.
So now, what would be wrong
Well,
with that?
I had an instance in Scotland where a friend of mine was in Scotland recently. He got very, very sick. They took him by ambulance. He was there for 4 days. He was really in trouble. And they released him. And he said, where do I pay? They said, there's no charge. And not only that, he said it was like great doctors, great care.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have a great system in this country if we had
people afraid of socialism? Is that
well,
what
they're
you're
afraid of a
worried
lot of things. I mean, I think they're afraid of a lot of things, but mostly it's incompetence. I mean, how do you spend? I mean, this is a number that's a real number. How do you spend $5 billion on a website, just the creation of the site itself, and it doesn't work? So there are things, and the fraud and abuse are incredible, as you understand. But it would be great to have
fraud
a system.
and abuse. Can you prove to me that there has been fraud and abuse? Let's see the paperwork on that.
Just look at your doctor's bills. I mean, you look at the doctor's bills, and you look at what some of these doctors do, and some of the money that they make, and you go to other countries and you see what they make. It's a whole different world, and there are things that you could do to give unbelievable health care at a lesser cost, not only to the government but to the people, and a much better health care system. And there are a lot of things, and it's a very complex subject, unfortunately. Sure. But there are many, many things that could make it much better.
Now, let me ask you a question to change the topic altogether. Do you need a permit for that hair?
Yeah. It never fails. It never fails.
That's all I got.
It is mine.
That's all I got. We'll be right back with Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. Don the Trump, ladies and gentlemen, Big Don Trump, Donnie, Big Don Trump. You were on Twitter, I'm told, last night talking about the horrific attack in Paris, and it seems like every day some other part of the country, sadly, sometimes here in our country, something similar, it's gotten to be not unusual.
No, it's terrible. Yeah. It's terrible. That was a terrible one. And you know, France has very strong gun laws, the strongest they say in the world, and it still happens.
But is it a gun control issue, really?
I don't know what it is. It's people that are just. It's a whole different viewpoint. It's terrible.
Yes, it is terrible. It's a religious problem. It's a cultural problem. It's an intolerance problem.
Right.
It's people who don't believe in freedom of expression. How do we? I mean, it's multi-headed. Where do we go?
Well,
how do we?
It would be nice to say there is really a solution, but you're always going to have. I mean, you look through thousands of years of history. You've always had people, and you've always had whether it's crazy people or people with, as you say, a point of view. But this was a terrible thing. A lot of people killed, and for no reason whatsoever. And it's a tough deal.
Yeah.
I will say this: the magazine, they've had a lot of problems over the years, and they were really, you know, we know about people that are very tough, and they were very tough on a lot of different people. But who would ever think this would happen?
Yes, but okay, here's the example that I'm always proud of as an American. People, to demonstrate, they think we're really going to stick it to the United States. We're going to set fire to the flag.
Yeah, right.
And people get, oh, my God. Well, no. If that's how you feel, go ahead and burn the flag, because this country is far greater than that symbol, and that symbol is standing for freedom of expression. And there's no other country.
Right? Sure. You're 100% right.
Yeah. So,
hey, he's really into it tonight. I'll
well,
tell you what.
I mean,
no, but I understand where you're coming from.
I'm not a religious
terrific.
man, but I do consider myself to be very spiritual. But
He is.
Jesus Christ and God and the disciples and the Virgin Mother, on and on and on and on and on. Believe it a little bit, believe it all you want. Turn your life over to it. That's fine. That's just great. Right. Somebody makes fun of it. So what? It's none of my business what you think of my religion. It's what I think of my religion. You know?
Well, what happened and it's true. And what happened in Paris is unthinkable, but as you say, we're seeing it all the time. I mean, whether it's the schools or something else, I mean, every night you come on, you turn on the news, and some catastrophe is out there.
And it happens like in 2 weeks. There'd be a story for 2 weeks, and then we get another horrible story for 2 weeks. And then, oh my God, this horrible accident over the holidays, I can't even bring myself to discuss it. A woman is shopping in, I think, Walmart with her kids, and she has a loaded gun in her purse. I mean, and that's just an accident. I mean, you know, you're going to get every now and then an accident. But the acts of pure hate, and now this supposed war against police officers, oh my God. Have you ever seen
Well, I've never seen anything like it. I've been in the city for a long time. I've known lots of people and lots of police officers. I love the police in the city. The police of New York City, the job they've done, because you remember years ago, I mean, coming over here was not so easy. It was a whole different thing. And, you know, the police of New York City have done an incredible job. It's actually, I said, I was seeing the other day, it's the safest large city anywhere in the world.
Well, crime rates have started to really drop toward the end of last year, didn't they? And I'll give you a good example. You take a look at that little dog and pony show they put on New Year's Eve. There's over 1 million people down there, and they come and they go home safe for the whole thing.
They had no problem.
Thanks to the New York City Police Department.
But they had no problem.
The New York City Police Department.
Great job. They're great. They're great.
All right, I'm going to read some names off here. Johnny Damon.
All right.
A two-time Major League All-Star, Johnny Damon. Is he in the Celebrity Apprentice?
He is indeed, and he's a tough cookie, and he really does well. And we were on the other night, 2 nights in a row, actually, and it was great stuff. I mean, it was
Gilbert
really
Gottfried. You fired him.
I fired Gilbert.
Why did he's a very funny
I hate
guy.
to fire. Oh, he's funny.
Very
he is
funny.
But I hated to fire him, but he had to be fired. I mean, it was time. He knows. It was. Gilbert, am I right, Gilbert?
Yeah. Sig Hansen.
Yeah.
Sig Hansen. Oh, he's a
captain.
fisherman. Yeah.
Right.
Kevin Jonas.
Right. Who was terrific.
Oh, he's from the Jonas Brothers.
He was
fired
terrific.
one of the Jonas
tough.
Brothers.
He got into a big fight you saw with Geraldo. And,
Geraldo. Fire Geraldo. Oh, fire him.
A lot of people say that. Hey, I've been hearing a lot of people say that.
Yeah, I'm going to take care of that right now. He's gone. Jamie Anderson.
Right. Olympic gold
Snowboarder.
medal. Right. She won the gold medal in the Olympics.
Ooh, she's beautiful.
Vivica Fox. And
I noticed she hasn't been fired, Don.
she hasn't been fired. She hasn't been. But they get into fights. The women get into some of the greatest fights ever in reality television. It's starting to see. And
How many years has that show been on the air?
so it's been 10 years, 14 seasons. There's been 15 copies of The Apprentice. All failed almost immediately, which I'm very happy about.
Around the world, they've been
Throughout the United States. And to a certain extent outside.
Oh, other people trying to imitate the show.
Imitations, copies of The Apprentice, many of them, and they're all gone. Most of them didn't last 2 or 3 nights. You know, it's an interesting business. You don't get he's been on a long time. You don't get ratings, it's over. Do we agree?
Right.
So it's gotten ratings.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of ratings. We had great ratings the other night. We're happy about it. But we've had 15 copies of The Apprentice, and every one of them, which I'm happy about, failed.
How close?
They failed quickly.
How close are you to having the name Trump on every damn building in the city?
I'm trying. I'm trying. Well, I love real estate, and I love the city.
What happened to Atlantic City? They're in
Atlantic
trouble.
City is very sad. I got out 7 years ago, and it turned out I've been given great credit, but I loved Atlantic City. I did really well in Atlantic City, but so many political mistakes were made. The convention center was built incorrectly in the wrong location. The airport, a lot of other things. And I was discussing with somebody just today. They're doing a big story on it. Atlantic City was a great place. I loved it. I mean, it was really something that had such potential, and it's been hurt so badly by a lot of bad political decisions.
Has your barber ever made a bad decision?
Yes. Yes.
That's all I got, Don.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
It's made a very bad decision.
That's all I can do. Don Trump, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
There you go. Come on, give it up here, buddy.
Okay.
The Celebrity Apprentice, Mondays at 8 p.m. We'll be right back with Chelsea.